Well, parents across the country have pushed back about what's happening in American schools. We've seen this, especially in Virginia, which became ground zero for debates over critical race theory and other issues of concern to parents. Back with us to weigh in on all of this, DMG Global CEO David Morey and Conservative Move CEO Paul Chabot. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Great to be back.
Happy New Year, Anita.
Happy New Year. So, Paul, you've said these mandates, these vaccine mandates, are government overreach and that parents are pushing back now by running for school boards. And now that's actually more important than running for Congress. Explain.
You know, it really is. So you look at what happened in Virginia, and it's remarkable. I often tell people that parents are the new Tea Party, right? You looked at how energized Americans were over taxes or Obamacare and their fight for that. Now today, you have ordinary, average soccer moms, dads getting up into their school boards, getting engaged, making public comment, but now taking it a step further and actually running for these offices across this country. It begins with our kids. As a father, I've got 4 kids. My wife and I love raising them. We put a lot of trust into our schools to do the right thing, and we've got to elect the right people with the right experience for the passion and concern for our kids to get elected. And that's why you see the parents really having this revolution at the school boards.
David, your thoughts on that quickly about so many parents, and we've seen school board members who have been there for a long time being ousted, new parents coming in. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's going to be a rare moment where I agree with Paul on Fox News Channel. I mean, look, I think the magic of America is that it works locally. It is, as Franklin said, a republic. The 10th Amendment, talks about state rights and local political rights. And so I think that's going to be part of the solution. Just like, look, Congress, the Senate especially, can't get much done. We can't even get stupid stuff passed, right? So this has got to get driven down to the local level. But we do have to do a better job, as I've said, at fighting COVID-19 and not each other. We're going to have to get past conspiracy theory, social media, this sort of hatred-fueled politics that can bring America down. We're going to have to work together. That's what we've done in crises in the past. We're going to have to do it again as we begin. Let's hope this is less. It's certainly more contagious, Omicron. Let's hope it's less deadly.
Okay, well, on that note, David, the case for vaccine mandates, as you discussed before with Kevin, is headed to the Supreme Court in the new year, January 7th. This is looking at large employers and some healthcare workers. You point out that since August, the court has upheld these mandates. Do you agree with that, and what do you expect the court to do now?
Yeah, I do agree with that. And it's 3 times they've upheld the mandates because, and I think they will again, by the way. I'm going to be surprised. Paul may have a different view on this, but I think they'll uphold it again. The reason is, remember OSHA, which is controversial for some people, but OSHA says over 6 months, these mandates will save 6,500 lives, 250,000 hospitalizations. That's not nothing if they're right. And so because private sector companies have stricter mandates, and because this is a mandate to either get a vaccine or to get tested, I think the Supreme Court is going to weigh on the side of a national mandate, at least in this temporary blizzard of viral infection that we're facing. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Paul, let me get your take on that, on the Supreme Court and their upcoming decision.
Yeah, while they may, however, I would hope that they would not. And here's the reason why. This is a very dangerous, slippery slope for America. You look where we are in today's times. All the talk is about the vaccine and the mandate. And if we begin to go down this road, mandating that employers do certain things with their employees, especially in regards to their health, what's next? Right now, it's just COVID. But what is the next block? And I think that is where the Supreme Court needs to look at and to say, look, our constitutional rights to privacy, our freedoms must come first, despite all dangers, perceived, real or unreal.
Yeah, a lot of people worried about a slippery slope there. We are also seeing now a number of school districts across the country, and I want to bring up a map that are talking about going remote or closing up shop for a little while. These are just some states and some districts in these states. So Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Illinois, and I just read this morning also Georgia, some districts in those states either closing for a little while or going remote. We really have yet to see the data, and we may not see it for years, about the negative effects of keeping kids out of school. Could education and government officials have handled this differently? David, to you first.
Well, I think Paul has kids. I have a 2 and 3/4-year-old in the other room. I mean, remote learning doesn't work very well. We pay a big cost, our kids, even worse, pay a big cost for that. That's why I've been so supportive of the 99% of schools that over the last year I've been back full-time and in person. But the truth is COVID-19 has its own reality. Omicron has its own reality. And if we see 20% of healthcare workers being infected, if we see school systems, it's like airlines. Eventually, if people get infected, you start canceling flights. Eventually, if school workers, students get infected, that's going to affect this dynamic. I would lead really hard away from remote learning because I think, Anita, you're right. We pay a big cost for it. But the reality of COVID-19 will have its own reality, if you will, its own sort of story to tell over 2022.
Okay, Paul, I want to give you 10 seconds just to be fair. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the common denominator among those states is they're all Democrat-controlled. Unions have a huge push right now for keeping teachers and kids either at home or masked up. I think it's, again, very dangerous. We know the mental health implications to kids already. They've got to be in the classroom. Let's just get back to common sense. The kids, for the most part, are extremely resilient. And, oh, by the way, so are our military troops that we're firing today and not giving them religious exemptions. A lot of challenges in America today, and we got to wake up.
All right. Big topic, guys, but I got to leave it right there. Thank you so much, David Morey and Paul Chabot. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Anita.
Thank you. Kevin?
Thank you, Anita. The sights and sounds